neighborhood zen. How are you doing? You know that you either gonna laugh or cry at the whole thing. It's been that way many days now, especially down here. If y'all don't know, I'm in New Orleans, and you'd say, "Oh, you had a hurricane 2.5 weeks ago." Oh no, no, it's not the hurricane. It's what's afterwards. If you understood how much trash is still in the streets, how much some neighborhoods smell like dead bodies, how people can't get their prescriptions, stores close early, groceries are only in certain neighborhoods. It's serious business, man. This is New Orleans proper. You get outside of here, it's no bueno. But looking at the larger scale, what's going on in the world and the goofiness of the show, for me, I could understand how people could take on religion and believe in a man in the sky or whatever your religion might be. I could understand that. And once you do a little investigative research into the whole thing, it becomes obvious as to the scam of it all and the delusion of aspects of it and the weirdness of it. But I could understand how people could be comforting to people. But as far as believing in the media and the government and how, and people do, how it is beyond believing in Santa Claus when you're 20. It is beyond believing in, I don't know, how does anyone put any even an iota, even just the smallest fraction of it. It's like the boy who cried wolf, right? How many chances does the boy who cried wolf get? 3? And the government's been doing this whole charade for its entirety since its inception. And people but there's science there now. Oh yeah, because science is, you gotta realize there's a difference between the method of doing scientific things, like trying to come to an understanding and getting an answer and then questioning the answer and coming to a higher form of knowledge, and then what we have now as scientism. It's totally different. And then the regurgitation of that scientism through the same sources that everyone knows not to trust, the media and the government. It'd be enough to make you kind of curious as to, are these people real? It's laughable. It is absolutely laughable. And to get into conversations with people in real time, it's interesting. Like businesses that try to enforce this, whatever, you gotta show. It's completely, if anybody's familiar with the 4 reasons, it's completely unlawful, illegal. There's a bunch of them. HIPAA laws, religious laws, Nuremberg. There's a bunch of reasons. But it's businesses that try to enforce this, you just go, you can't be really serious right now. Like you don't want to be in business anymore, do you? You don't want to exist as a business. It was already hard enough. It's kind of crazy. How's everybody doing? Just sitting on a bench having a beverage. Got a little sunshine today. Seeing the ducks. See a couple friends. A lot of people left, man. A lot of people I knew. A lot of people are leaving now. Like, cause jobs ain't coming back that quick. A lot of fun things gonna be happening down here though. And if anybody's want to help support me, because it is kind of difficult as food prices have went up, it is difficult to find things, and I still have my standard bills, and I haven't been doing shows because I've just not been motivated. You can help me out, CashApp, PayPal, all that, and some of that does go to help other people out that need it. You all know that, and that's beneath. And I prefer CashApp, PayPal, or Venmo. Any one of them, they all work. It's all helpful, and I do appreciate it. But down here it's crazy, man. People really, they're like, oh, the storm is over. Like, Yeah, you don't quite understand. There's literally people that can't get their prescriptions right now. That they'll be at. There's people that have been waiting in line at, say, CVS or a pharmacy, and they close at 5. They'll be waiting there for hours because there's people aren't there. They're not. The employees aren't here, and on top of that, they have all of the restrictions and how many people they allow in the stores, who they let in. People are dealing with some stuff, man. Employees, like all these restaurants, they can't open. Where they can't just restock all the shelves in all the stores. People left. Where's their employees at? It's crazy. Crazy times, man. And that's on top of everything else that's going on in the world. What are you gonna do? It's just something. Then you watch, and then if you do take any, if you take anything the news is saying as correct, you see this thing going on at the border? Anybody watch this? I think it's funny. There's like 80,000 people in Mexico coming to the U.S. I don't know, obviously most everything on TV, if it's on there, 95% of it is staged. The other 4 to 5%, not staged, but they get some good shots out of it. Like for instance, down here, there is going to be on Saturday, I believe, some fun things going on with all the people because the trash wasn't picked up for a bunch of reasons. So people are going to be taking, I don't know, I think they'll be taking the trash somewhere. Lots of people. There's a couple Facebook groups, couple organizers getting people to put their trash into, well, there's, at this point, it's hot, there's maggots, it stinks to high hell. Nobody's been putting it in cars, but some people have got like some trucks, flatbeds, blah, blah, blah. And they might be we're at least going to be doing a parade, but I think they're going to be taking the trash to perhaps City Hall. So it might be fun. You guys might get to see on the news. Or they'll just black that out like it's not going on. We will see though. I'm trying to find a costume. It's supposed to be garbage themed, so I wanted to do dress up as Oscar the Grouch. But then again, it's going to be hard to. I don't know what's open. I don't know. Like, despite New Orleans having more costumes than anywhere basically in the world, no costume shops are open. Crazy times. So who's up in here? What's going on? It says there's some people in here. Do you all not know me? You can't even say hello? Say hello. Yesterday was laundry day. So my stuff is still at the laundry because there was a little bit of a backup there. So I have my I have the last of my clothes on, the last of my closet. So I'm rocking out the green glasses and the green pants. What you think? Fresh, right? Not that I don't rock these pants all the time. Anyways, it's just the only choice I had in the matter. So how is everybody's livelihoods going on in your neck of the woods? How are you enjoying the thing that's going on in the world? Isn't it humorous? I mean, I don't get how more and more people aren't becoming aware of how obscene and preposterous and bizarre everything is. There's two little kids playing over there, and I was just watching them throw sticks at each other. So what else? What should we talk about? I don't want to do a whole nother show on the insanity of it all, but what else is there to talk about these days? I as usual, I try to help people with health-related things, psychology, philosophy, fasting, food, things like this and that. And you tell people. Somebody asked me a question and said, so and so doesn't want to go to the hospital because it's basically a death sentence at this point. If anybody doesn't understand that, if you go to the hospital, you're pretty much signing up for a death sentence. No, there's not a joke. Like, that's for real. Like, you're basically just signing your life away to do whatever you want to do because they will tell you there's something wrong with you. But they had blood clots and they had something else. They did not get the sticky jabby wabbers, but they were having a bunch of problems with something. And I was like, here's what you need to do for blood thinning. And they're like, well, I don't think they'll do that. I was like, well, then I think they're not going to listen. And then, I was like, look it up, Shivambu Culpa. Drink your piss. No, we're not going to do that. I was like, okay, then what do you... I can't tell you how many times I've had that conversation with people. I'll give people the answer to what they're seeking, but they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. I was like, then why did you ask me? I'm going to give you the correct answer, and you're not going to like it. So go ahead, just continue doing what you're doing. Be in pain, suffer. What are you going to do? What am I going to... I can't help you. I don't want to go to the doctor anymore. I don't want to take those prescription drugs. I don't want to do this. Okay, do this, this, and this. Well, I don't want to. Stop eating that. Eat this. Well, it's going to be hard. What's up? What's up, Lord Enki? I know K Rhino. I don't know many song names by even my favorite hip hop artists. And I do enjoy K Rhino. I just don't know his collection that well, but I do dig it. I've probably heard it if it's one of his popular ones. Surface Dwellers, I could dig it. I do wonder what's going on. I do wonder what there's this big, the reset, right? The big game, the grand chessboard, what does the reset look like? And for what purpose and who's doing it? These questions I like. What's up, Colin? Hey, if you want to help me not drink this, Colin, I'd appreciate it. You can Cash App me, PayPal me, buy me different beer. This is what I can afford right now. Money is not... I haven't been making videos because inspiration has been sucked out of me. A hurricane and hot weather will do that. And people just suffering around you. It's kind of difficult. I'm very bipolar right now. Very like 1 minute I'm like good and happy, and then it's raining out, and I'm just feeling everybody else's collective conscious how bad they're feeling, like the struggles, and like looking at my building and like half the people are there, and like everybody else still working on their houses. Like they just came through to do inspection on the whole building today, and they're just like, okay, this is broke, and just like things they still got to fix. They haven't started. And like looking at other people like putting their roofs on, people's garbage and stuff, man. So if you want to buy me a beer, I'll just tell me what else to drink rather than this shit. But 12 of these for $10, that's what I can afford. I'm a cheap date. Yeah, I'd happily upgrade. When the way I've always spent money is pretty simple. If I have it, I'll spend it. If I don't, I'm not going to. I don't know. It's like I'll share it. If I have a little extra money, I'm not going to buy myself something. Like the other day, somebody's like gave me money, like specifically, buy yourself a meal. So I was like, all right, because I hadn't really eaten in a couple of days. They're like, just go eat something. So somebody gave me like $20. I was like, all right. So I went and had myself a nice meal. So, that's kind of how I do, because I don't really like food. To me is so secondary. The only thing I really need is liquid, and I just so happen to like the effects of a couple beers. Yeah, but you know what though, Colin, I much prefer APAs, American Pale Ales. I like the tail end, less bitter ones. I do enjoy a bitter IPA, but I don't want like a 120. I don't mind IPAs for the fact that they're 9%. But it's hot, and then if I get a 6-pack, I'm out. It's 92 degrees outside. I'm drinking a 6-pack of 9% beers. I'm not lasting the whole day. That's a bedtime beer. So I do wonder about this reset. If it's for the for our advantage as a collective, as a where's that 100th monkey popping in, right? Where's the collective consciousness? Where's everything gets better because there's a couple powerful magicians that are doing good things? when does that come into play? You know what I'm saying? And this whole charade that's going on, when does that end, and for what reason? What comes out of it? Because I can't imagine it becoming the tyrannical, um, uh, that whole, all of those books of the end of the world and the technocratic. I mean, I see technology as being something beneficial to all of humanity in the future. It always has been, but it's ups and downs. We get sometimes like, hey, look, we got something new that's really beneficial, and then all of a sudden people start spinning off of that, and it becomes we rely on it too much, and it gets in our way of actually experiencing life. Mr. Jackson Braintree, what's up? Oh no, man, that's so crazy. You know what's funny is one time I got a nice check, and I didn't get robbed per se, but I got hustled. That was when I was a kid. I'd come on some money, and I bought something that was it wasn't as good as it should have been. Let's put it that way. And so I got hustled. I did not, but I did have an Audi TT once. Those are dope. If you never, I'm sure you've driven one. Man. Yeah, I heard about that. Oh, I mean, dude, that was 20 years ago. That was when I was a kid. That was like when I was 19. So you can only imagine what I was doing with that money. I thought I could flip it real quick, and I didn't. I didn't know who I was fucking with, and you know. Oh well, things happen. Yeah, I had a black on black 2003 black on black all wheel convertible. The shit was dope. 6 speed, the whole thing. Yeah, that was fun. Fun car, super fun car. Yeah, I heard you guys scrapped the passport thing. That's good. That's good. I mean the steps. Some of it, it's like playing a chess game. Some of those they didn't want to. They were going to see if you guys would go along with it, and then there was kind of obviously enough pushback or something that was like, no, it's a bad idea. It's a bad move. Don't move that pawn there. Don't move that. So they'll still try it. I think unless here's the only other option that I see is that all of these people getting the boosters, as they start falling over, and it becomes very apparent that people go, oh, that person just got their booster thingy, and they end up, and it will become very apparent to people no matter what, because they'll be surrounded by like, oh, they got it, and two out of three are gone, and I know those people didn't, and they're still walking around on hell. They'll figure it out, but that will be so they won't even care at that point. The governments won't even care about the passport thing anymore, because the population will have already been reduced. A lot of people just said this whole thing was more of an IQ test for people. Quite honestly, I think so. Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was. I had it when I was in. I lived in Baltimore, and even in the winter, because I had heated seats, because I'm an idiot, I'd have the top down. People were like, "How are you in a convertible in the winter when it's snowing, with slush on the road?" I was like, "Y'all don't know. This little car got all-wheel drive. People got trucks and all this, and they can't even get through the snow." And I'm just like, and with the top down too, looking like a retard. It was fun. Got a winter hat on with the heated seats. It was fun. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's somebody sent me something the other day. It says it was something like something to the, love is the answer in the end. It's like Daniel Johnston, true love will find you in the end, kind of thing. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, there are so many different types of intelligences, right? You have your you have your standard intelligences. You have your mathematical ones. You have your emotional. You have your physical intelligences. It depends on who you ask, but most people say there's probably nine major. There's the four major ones, then nine, and then you could go into like deeper, divide those nine up into things. But yeah, man, intelligence. But the intelligence you're talking about is just like, where you just go, really, really, oh, come on, you didn't. It's like that. Common sense is not so common. Common sense is not so common, huh? Yeah, I wasn't even gonna do a video today because I just haven't been feeling it, and I just figured to get on here anyways. I'm outside, just say hello. It won't be too deep into things, but yeah, I just felt like saying hi. Yeah, Colin. Yeah, I hear you with that. I think that's what it is. I think it's a balancing of it's a balancing act of that of if everything was love and light, like they always like heady people always love and light, right? And they always like they want to like float under everything. They want to be like kind of a flutterby, a butterfly's back, and they don't want to harm anything. And they're everything is positivity, and like no, dog, like people, you just didn't grow up in it that way. You can't. I was having this conversation with somebody earlier today. It's like the people's ability to look at something from a third point of view, another perspective. Like they didn't. Rich people can't understand poor. City people can't understand country. Like there's so many aspects to that gives us. It's not even a duality. It's well beyond a duality. But the love and light is just kind of airy fairy. You need to have like you have a body. We're in a physical. It's physical environment. Ooh, that's no good. No bueno. Somebody got a flat. I don't know if they know it. Yeah, but the physical reality, it's here. Without the physical reality, what experience could you really have? Those really airy dreams you have that you kind of are there, but there's no real physical, tangible anything in the dream. There's no like, what's the purpose? You can learn something. You might, for sure. It's that kind of like Good Will Hunting. When Robin Williams he's all pissed, right? And then he's about to fuck the kid up, and he goes home, goes to sleep, and he goes, you know what? And he sees him the next day. He's like, I went home and I had a good night's sleep because I realized you've only read books. You've never been to the top of you've never smelt the inside of a cathedral. You've never been to the top of a mountain. Going through all these things like the experiential life. So a lot of people, they want to be this love and light and airy fairy up here. And no, the physical realm is it's 3 dimensions for a reason. It's not 2 dimensions. It's not duality. The third dimension is what gives us this tangible thing. It's there. It's very important. Very important. Yes. Yeah, from the roots to the fruits, huh? Well, arcane. Yeah, I mean, collapse. Yeah, it's kind of like the caterpillar butterfly. See, now I don't think things are, as you say here, flawed. We're not. We don't go directly to unflawed. I don't think that's the thing. I think it's like a butterfly is flawed, a caterpillar is flawed, but both of them in their environments are just fine. I think we just alter our environments to be a little more cohesive, Like, obviously, obviously a house is just fine for living inside, even if it's square walls and all this is fine, but it's flawed. Now, could we just upgrade that slightly and put some curves on those walls, and all of a sudden change the energy signature, maybe change the size of the room, maybe change the material? So we just upgrade it. Like that's what I think we do. I don't think we go directly to like some unflawed, bells, harmonics of wisdom and in the heavens. I mean, if you've ever been to those peaks, you've been on those highs and those journeys, and you've experienced that out of body thing, but you always come back to this realm, and it's always going to have its. You're not going to walk through life and not stub your toe once in a while. But yeah, but the transformation that's definitely what's going on. So in some ways, like the whole trans thing, the trans agenda, we're transforming to something, whether it's whatever you think it is. Your Lord Anki, the Dark Lord strike ships. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I hear you, Mr. Jackson Braintree. Love and light all the time is boring once you live. Yeah, I mean, once you've lived through that, like then you go to that place again. It's kind of like, well, all the stories, then you live in this very wildly comfortable life, and then you go, I want to go have an adventure. It's like what Alan Watts said. If you're God and you go and play and everything's, you're gonna win the gambling. You're gonna do that. You win all the time. Eventually you're gonna hit the surprise me button, and you probably hit the surprise me button and you woke up here. Not that you're not, in that God thing all the time. And yes, I do little air quotes around whatever you think the universal prime creator, the self is, the overmind, the oversoul, the higher self, and that's always there. Oh, what up, stars? Stars in the building. What you doing, yo? Hey, how'd you cope with the hurricane? Did you get some leftovers? I didn't see if it made it your way. How was it? What's up, bro? Because you're not too. I didn't know which direction. How far the winds went. Arcane, where you can do enemas in public and have public golden showers. I think that. See, now I think so too. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, if you really understood the technology of your body and what warm urine is, and how that is a conduit for so many things, and yeah, what a great where people are that. It's not only just that open and free to do that, but it's literally like that's the thing. Like, you just go, oh, of course. Like, how you feeling? Like, a couple aches and pains. Woke up. Like, hey, you wanna go to the park and just catch a golden shower? Just, yeah, let's go do that. And that's just what you do. I mean, as an alternative to this realm, and if you were in a little hippie community doing that, that's a little strange. But I'm talking like the realm as a completion, that they see that as that's not like some kind of whacked out thing. That's not like, what kind of crazy people are doing this, where people should just understand that. I think that's why I kind of stick around here, because people need to understand that, because you can't just leave them here. You can't just leave them here not knowing that their body is the highest technology. That you're already in it. This shit right here, high technology, cool stuff, but it's secondary to your body. You had to use your mind, higher technology, which made your body secondary technology. Then we use our mind to create our body to create this thing here, so I can talk to you guys. You can't leave people stuck in the digital realm. You got to bring them out here to this thing. But we have to use this to contact them. You see? You see? Colin, he loved to drink and smoke because he knew it was all a game. There you go. Yeah, that was. What's up, Yataku? Oh, last year you got it. You didn't. This one didn't hit you. Oh, this one fucked New Orleans up. Nice, nice. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that is right. I see. I wonder for Enki. For people that were adopted, because I'm adopted, right? So I wonder how that fits in because I've known a lot of people that are adopted and their experiences with their parental MK Ultra people, like what that looks like compared to people that came out the womb. There's a big difference. It's like whenever people are like, you were adopted, you're special. I don't know what that means. Did we get the extra good MK Ultra? uh, hmm. It's funny when you pay close attention to Hollywood, and you see all of the older women that are the handlers, the old, basically witches. Some of them good, some of them bad, some of them are just whatever, indifferent. But you see them like they're like the handlers of the stars, as it were. And if you really consider what's going on there, if you can read, astrology and you divination and you're working with mentalism and programming and things like they're literally playing with the stars, and then they're out here like handling the stars. As above, so below. That's how it is. It's quite interesting, and I wonder which ones of the Hollywood types, how many of them are aware that that's what it is, what's really going on. I think some of them know, and they're good with it because they're like, "Wow, I'm learning about these things." Others are just under the thumb, and they just do as controlled and programmed. They're just beep, do that. Others, I think, are being like coming unhinged. The few that have come unhinged, they can always play it, and they can always play it in for their benefit, for the media benefit. And as I've told people this 1,000 times, and I'll try to find the video and re-release it, or I'll just make another one on it for everybody. And it was a big one that I made on. There's a huge difference between the Medes, MEDES, and the media, right, and Hollywood. They're literally on the same parallel on opposite sides. They're on the 33rd, but one's over on this side and one's on this side. So if you think if it was a globe, they'd be literally right across from each other. But on our realm, it's still they're still right across from each other but they're on the same 33rd degree parallel, right? So they're playing a chess game, and the most of the people in the Hollywood, those magicians are much different than the Medes. And when you get into the research of who those are, there's a big connection to why we're always at some sort of war with Iraq and Iran, especially Iran. And there's a big thing that goes on there. But yeah, I did a whole thing on that. I'll try to find it and re-release it for you guys. I thought it was really interesting. Yeah, it's Tars. You know all about. Yeah, you know about that. That's what they. Hmm. So how else are you living, man? Are you still in the same area? You still in that same area over there? You still kicking it? Yeah, the interest, and furthermore, on the just getting back into the last comment here by Tars was the harvesting of the power, and these people that always get into the that's sadly. See, that's funny because I already know you're like a highly intelligent dude. You can just go back and get that just so you can get kind of get fucking that. Well, good for you, man. Fuck it, do something, something to do, right? It's always the more intelligent ones that are like, I ain't time for the little stupid bullshits. But yeah, okay. So these people, they're always really interested in the Hollywood types, and they're like, oh, these people are trannies, or these people used to be a dude. This used to be and they got sex change. And I'm like, you realize like most of them, that was done to them at a very very early age, right before like as they're in the womb, coming out of the womb. Like it's not that's not their fault. That wasn't their choice. So you have to have these people to get like upset with them. They're like, you have to. These people out here that make the videos about it, they have such contempt for the Hollywood people, and I'm like, you can't have contempt for them. They grew up that way. You can't be like, oh, look at what else could they know? Do you think that even though it's easy for you to tell, we can look at it and say, okay, there's the Adonis belt and there's all of these different things going on in the body, and do you think they know that? They don't know that. They're out there singing, dancing, playing their sport, doing whatever, and living the way that they've seen the world from that perspective, and especially that the moreover, most of them, it was before they had a choice in the matter. Some later in life they had a choice in the matter, and for them, go for it. You wanna chop up you wanna mutilate yourself. How you doing? You want it? Wonderful. You want to go? Put earrings in, and you want to put a nose ring in. You want to chop up any part of your body, and do something. Hey, go for it. I'm all for that. The little in between part, like that's when you kind of go, parents that are like, oh, my kid's like 10, they haven't they're genderless. Like, all right, slow down, y'all. I think you missed something here. You missed the boat on this one. You- You're 40 and you just found out some men have. Well, no shit. Also, you're like, but you're well, you're well on to knowing you already know some things, but you weren't aware of that. Yeah, I'd start get into the like like the Hindus and the old ancient gods, and why there's hermaphrodites like born that way. There's born with both pieces, and so like you have the original untouchables, right? And now you would say they're untouchable because they're of a lower class. But in the beginning, they were the untouchables because they were of a higher order because they had both of the organs. Like, I mean, look at even some of the old ancient movies about say, like the Middle East. Xerxes, and he's got the very feminine, but he's like a big dude. And he's like the god, and he's like very, very bisexual. Well, they were bisexual because they had both pieces. That's like, it wasn't just a like we're supposed to figure it out mentally, internally, right? The energy's inside. They were physically born that way, which means that their mind and their body was already in a harmonic balance. They had the whole thing, so that they were considered. They were the man. Make a homunculus. Could they impregnate themselves? You know, that's what homunculus is to impregnate yourself, basically, and make a smaller version of yourself. It's supposed to be kind of mentally project yourself into another being, like not another human, but like into your next. I don't know, maybe just tomorrow I wake up, I'm a new person, right? Yataku, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the old, and so then you have, and so all of the ancient gods, right? So there's always this stress on, um, there's been way too much patriarchy energy, and they want the female energy. This is why all of the old actors were all men dressed in female, right? And they were trying they and this goes even farther back. This is why everything in Hollywood is based upon Egyptian lore. But if you really, really got deeper into it, I don't want to do this whole thing now. The original Egypt was in America. America means rich soil, and the Mississippi was the original Nile. So this was the original land. This is why our pyramids are deeper into the ground. This is why you can see the pyramids and over there, because of where they are. They're up higher. That means they were built later. So that land was built after, like the Americas were prior. The the people here were already mixed long, long ago. That's a long, long story. But the whole idea of trying to balance out your Ida, your Pingala, your two energy centers, the yin and the yang, the two, the snakes, the kundalini, and getting your electric and magnetic forces was masculine and feminine. And so what they've done is they've tried to scientifically and do it on a physical level. They're not supposed to be doing it that way. Ah, man. I was going to do a quick video. My phone is off. Oh, shit. Maybe I have a charger in here. Hold on. If I have a charger, I will stick around a little longer. Hold up. You guys might have lucked out here. I do have a charger. Now I must have a cord. Yes, 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 yes. Is it a win? It is a win. Oh, and also, uh-oh. Is this one out of juice? Juicy juice? Let's see. I was going to ask you, Mr. Jackson, do you know of me? Have you seen my other videos? I've never seen you on here talk to you before. There we go. Oh, nice. We have power. Because I'm always curious these days, especially when I get new people to jump on here, whether it was just something that popped up or if somebody's like, you need to go listen to Zen's videos or whatever, because of how strict the algorithm for the past 2 years has, how difficult it is for people to find my videos on my channel. So I just was curious about how you found this. Yadaku. I think we'd have to go back way, 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 way long time ago. That's farther back than I'd care to explore. I mean, I get it that a woman's clitoris is a penis, inversion, but then, it's kind of like the idea of you wanted to make, well, in the Bible, it was patriarchy, and then make a helpmeet, right? Take the rib, make another one, to have the helper and the complementary system, because it would get boring to just be around yourself all day, so you'd want something to counterbalance that. So it could have been, but I think the original being was probably Ken doll. Neither no procreative organs. And then we were sitting there going, maybe we should make more of, if it's me, maybe I should make more of myself or something like me. How would I do that? Invert myself, put a little thing in there and put a baby, and like, okay, now we got that out there. But now how would we do that again? Because they don't know how to do it, because they're not me. That's just like a version of me. What if I put something that actually I could put inside of that thing? And that becomes like a... As I was... Sorry, I got sidetracked by something. The balance. America. So America and Africa. Rika means rich. Ame means soil, land. So rich soil, rich land. Yeah, Africa, America. Oh, Enki. Oh, cool. cool, Mr. Jackson. Oh, awesome, awesome. There's a lot of people that do. Sometimes I can never tell when it says. Sometimes we'll say there's 0 people on here and people be commenting, and other times they'll say there's a bunch of people. I don't know. I just don't take any of the numbers to be true on here, and sometimes comments don't show up. That happens sometimes too. Um, yeah, Tars. That's what's up. Um, Amuraka, Amuraka. Yeah, Tahuti and Tas. Procreation is, yes. Creating music, it's magic. That, yeah, original. I can see that being so. It was like instantaneous. It's like when they talk about the alchemists that would take a gourd, and they would put their seed into a gourd and create a baby. Basically, this is. Some people said it was actually factual. They would use the seed and use the gourd to create the homunculus, a little version of themselves without a female. And the same thing, I could see how women say you don't really need a male to. It could be harmonic. For all you know, you could make a sound perfectly and impregnate. You could impregnate a woman with a sound. I mean, you're impregnating someone's ears, your ear balls, your eyes with light here, with sound, smells in here. But you could vibration somehow, I assume. I don't see why not. Crazier things have happened. What kind of birds you got? I've been rocking with the ducks these days, and crows are always around, and the blue jays have been around. Some cardinals here and there. I don't know. I haven't been out too much in the past couple weeks. Smoking something. Smoking that boogie. Is it is it legal in Alabama now? Alabama's legal, right? That's what you're in Alabama, right? Because here it's going to be legal very soon. Um, it's not. It's right now. I think I don't even think it's. I don't even think it's finable anymore. I don't even know anybody, like, they don't even. I don't know of anybody ever getting a ticket. I know that it was ticketable for a little while. You just can't be distributing, but it's going to be fully legal pretty soon. Oh yeah, like in music. Yes, interesting. Oh, Tyrus, you're in Pensacola. You're in Florida now? Oh no shit. Pensacola. How close is that? You know Jay Marley, right? You know Jay Marley, right? Where the hell was that? Wasn't he in Pensacola? Should go say hi to that motherfucker. Where the hell was he? I haven't seen him in a little bit. I haven't talked to him. He used to be out here all the time. Where the hell was he? I thought he was in Pensacola. You inland, or you near the beach? See, I thought you were still in Alabama, because last time I talked to you, I mean, I've seen you a couple times on here for a second or two. I was considering going to Florida. I mean, this hurricane just been like fucking such a stress, dude. I was like, fuck it. I might just go to Florida. But, as Tennessee Williams said, there's only 3 places. What he said? He said New York, San Francisco, and New Orleans. Everywhere else might as well be Cleveland. Well, good to see you, Mr. Jackson. Peace out, dude. Are you surfing? You out on that surfboard, Tars? Getting high and surfing? That's funny. I've never surfed. I've lived at the beach many times, but I've never surfed. I don't know why. Hung out with the surf kids, just never got aboard. Oh, there we go. Crow life. I told you the crows are over here. I do have to dip in a minute though because this charger is not. There's not as much juice on here as I thought. Oh, you ain't got that kind of skill? Come on. See, go give it a shot. Shit. You're in shape. You're athletic, right? You was always in shape. Instead of playing video games, go play real life shit. You grew up as a surfer and a skater, so you just learned how to talk. Yeah, that's so funny. That's funny. Yeah, I've always loved different, I guess, dialectics. Different people's, the spin people put on English language, depending on where you live. How wildly different it is to listen to people that are surfers, even in the way and the kind of words they use and the way they say it, versus if you went to some parts of South Louisiana, you're not gonna be able to understand a damn thing Cajun people say. Find somebody from Jersey, and find somebody from. I mean, there's all these little pockets of people. Houston, sometimes there's little places where people they just got these really interesting accents, and then you throw in the mix that they're even words that they might use in similar same words, they're gonna say completely different. Oh, you're from Canton, so you're okay. You're from the Football Hall of Fame. Nolly. I was just watching a bunch of skateboard videos yesterday. Yeah, I love watching street skate videos. I don't ramp I'm okay watching, but nah, street is where it's at. Rad man. Yeah, I don't know any of the new skaters' names, you know, dude, bro. But oh man, I did skate a little bit growing up, but I wasn't that I built a couple ramps and I went to actually when I was a kid I went to was it Dallas skate park or was it Houston? It was Dallas, a big skate park I went to with my cousin. I was not that good. I was a kid. Oh yeah, Chad Muska. Yep, yeah. Gleaming the Cube. Yes, I remember that movie. Well, I mean, for me, there's only one skater you need to pay attention to, because I don't care what era you're from. There's only one you need to know. Only one, because he invented things that people still can't even do today. He invented basically what 95% of tricks. How do you do that? Everybody else is it's interesting thinking about how good certain people were at sports and how many things that you could attribute to, say, I don't know, maybe Wilt Chamberlain, how good, like in his era, or like Pele, like what he was bringing to the sport, or like in certain time periods, even, Michael Jordan, how good he was. But I remember Mike Vallely too. But you know, to contribute an entire sport to one person, he's done some TED talks too. Yeah, exactly. Rodney Mullen. I don't even know why they call it skateboarding. They should just call it just call it fucking Rodneying. I don't know. He's an interesting dude, man. You ever seen any documentaries on him or any like TED talks? He did a TED talk that was really cool. Really interesting dude. He's like almost like an autistic savant, but a little more, yeah. But Mike Vallely was that was that dude. Watch some video. Is anybody into skateboarding, or if you're not, go watch some of the ones where he gets in some fights. Yeah, dude. Oh, he's super into the moment. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder about other things that he does. Like other things that, because somebody that has that kind of it's OCD, but in a good way. Like that obsessive compulsive. I must get this right. It seems like he has control of it though. Where most people, when they're OCD, they'd lose their mind if they don't turn the bathroom light switch on and off 6 times a year or whatever. But people that have learned to control that OCD to be precise with something, yeah, it's interesting. Mike V fights, exactly. Yeah, that's a dude I would take if I had to have a brawl. He just looks like somebody that will. He just looks solid. He ain't even that big either. I'm taking him. I don't care. He can design and compute. Interesting. And play cube. What you mean play cube? I don't get the reference when you play cube. Like GameCube? Yeah, I don't know. And also I wonder too for other people that like what is maybe that'll be the next video for people. What are you passionate about? Like what? It's the question everybody asks. If money was of no object, what would you do? What would you do with your life if money was not an object? And you could just do it anything you want. Oh, Rubik's cube. Yeah, I got you. So he could do like the Rubik's cubes, kind of like the Asian dudes where they're like on a unicycle, juggling 3 of them and solving them, or the ones that have like they got Rubik's cubes that are like eight sided, right? You've seen the extra special ones, right? They went from the 3-sided to the 4-sided. I think there's like 8 or 9-sided ones now that are insane. I used to watch people do those, the big ones. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's some. See that's some really weird left-brained. Yes, I said brained. Left-brained, rectilinear kind of computer. That's very, very, very savant type things, like autism. But like, there are people that are. I've made plenty of videos on this. I'm sure you've probably seen 1 or 2 of them. Where do you sit? The question is, where do you sit on the autism scale? Everyone is on a scale of 1 to 10. everyone is autistic. One being not really, you're just a normal person doing your normal damn thing. And 10 being like autistic, like you know what autism is. That everyone's somewhere on the scale, like the scale, like everyone's somewhere on the scale of being gay, 1 to 10. You know, you got dudes that are like, you know what a good dude looks like. You're a little gay. Like, I mean, how gay are you gonna be? Are you a 10 gay? Are you just like, hey, and you're just wearing, you're, you're just running around in speedos painted in pink with sparkles and a unicorn on your unicorn? I mean, we're on both of these scales, everybody. But the autism thing is very interesting to me because I wonder about how good you have, like, where does your mind go to be that good at something? Whenever I see Asian people, and it is, I see how they grow up. It's the patriarchy thing. They taught at a very early age, and there's this order and things they do. So the Rubik's cube, the mathematics, that's all ingrained in society. But I also have a theory that because of the robotics industry there, that whenever we see these factories with child labor in China, I think those are robots. I think it's all for TV. I don't think those are kids. I think those are robots. That's how they built them, and that's how they'll stay forever. So whenever we send things to go get made in China, it's not child labor. It's literally just giant factories of robots doing the work. I could be wrong, but who knows? I've never been there. I've never been to these factories, and I do know that even in the late 80s, there was already robotics. There was already prosthetics. They were at such a high advanced level that you could have a hard time telling the difference between a person, and that's what they were showing to us. A hard time telling the difference between a human being and the robot. Go look at the movie Kaina Squatties or Baraka, or there's a bunch of them like that, and some of them they'll show you these robots in these factories. Man, it's crazy. So think, we're in the year 2021. You're talking from the 1980s to now. That's how many years later? You're telling me they haven't advanced technology that far? I don't know. Drink beer. What would you do? You would drink beer. Yes. Yeah. I have to look to see Mr. Jackson. See, now I'm gonna have to look these things up. Tars, if I could say in one quick sentence, what is the realest part of magic? That is so big of a question to summarize magic into one sentence. I would say interacting with a puppy. That's magic. There you go. That's the sentence. Was that even a sentence? Interacting with a puppy? That is magic. Yeah, Arcane. I never looked up I never wanted to know how to solve it as the cheat code thing. Okay, you look at this side, then you turn it this way and do this, and you can learn the method. I never wanted to learn the method because once you do, you're like, oh, I learned that, and it'd feel like cheating. It'd be like playing Zelda and then getting the map. Like, man, you're supposed to. The game is to run around and find it. Once they started handing out the books to go with the Nintendo players guides, it's like, man, I mean, did I get them? Yes, but. Lord Anki, Chris, man, I never. That shit's. I don't. I've seen people function on it. I know that they do that, and they are somewhere else. They move very fast, very quickly. Everything is. I'm just like, slow the fuck down. smoke something, drink something. Sorry, I was observing something happening over there. Confessions from the Sixth Cell. Primed for death. Well, see, there you go. Hey, Mr. Jackson, see? There you go. Well, why not? I mean, how many cultures revere it? There's so many cultures that you can go to, and that's like you walk into shops, and there's phallic symbols everywhere. There's phallic symbols everywhere. And the fact that you have one on your body, why wouldn't you think it's at least something cool? Like, shit, I like what I look like. Why wouldn't I think so? You see something, hey, good dick, buddy. Fucking good job. Way to go. Like, Arcane. Yeah. Yeah, the ones that are about an 8 out of 10. 10 out of 10, that's too far. They usually have like very, very severe like social skill problems. Nor I would say 7 and 8 autistic slash Downy, and and Down syndrome is different than autism, but they usually have a connection there, right? But like the movie The Ringer. If you've never seen The Ringer, I highly suggest it. What an amazing movie. Some people are very offended by it, but you can't be offended by it. It's so ridiculous. But Johnny Knoxville plays a dude that plays like he's got special needs, and everyone, all of the people, all of the kids that were special needs knew that he wasn't, I mean the whole thing is like the whole time they're like, we knew, nobody else knew. The normal people couldn't tell that he was acting like he was, and they're like, we knew the whole time. But it's such a great movie. It's very, very, very heartwarming, while being extremely, extremely funny. Yeah, Tars. Yeah, you hear me on the factory thing, huh? Yep. Hey, Colin. Hey. Yep. I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. I like belief makes real. That's magic. There you go. That's a good way to put it. Belief makes reality. That's good. Yeah, and I hear you on the Colin. The so much of the news is to make people feel guilty over things they shouldn't feel guilty about. Like, if there's people there if there's those atrocities going on, and they're filming it, and we have governments telling us, the media and the governments know this, and they're literally doing nothing about it. Why tell us? Why don't you go do something about it? Because I and you can't do anything about it. What are we gonna do? Individually, I'm gonna go jump on a plane, fly over there, and be like, "Hey, you shut this building down, because this is terrible." But they'll just put it on there like, "You're buying products from them." I'm like, "But you're shipping them in, asshole. Why don't you talk to people? How about stop shipping the products in, and then making us feel guilty for buying them? Like, oh, here's some socks for $1, but they were made in China. Well, I didn't make them. I didn't import them. You did. So don't make me feel guilty, because I'm sorry, my job only paid me enough to be able to afford the dollar socks. I can't buy the Armani socks. It's a trick, man. Everything is a trick to make you feel guilty for shit you shouldn't feel shameful about. That's a fact. It's a fact, Jack. Let's crack another beer. I guess I'll stick with you guys a little bit longer here. Mr. Jackson, that's fucking amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the number one thing that we're fed on a regular basis, through everything, mainly through religion, then through school, then through media and government, our parents, which is a shame and guilt. Shame and guilt. You start putting shame and guilt in people, that's a mind killer. That kills everything about the experiential life of anything. Yeah, man. Life is about experience. It's about feeling. You know, what does that feel like to you? But, I mean, don't feel anything. Don't. How dare you feel that way? You know, people like you don't. Like, hey, I can't believe you feel that way. Like, well, no, you're supposed to go, well, what? That's interesting. Why do you feel that way? Or, hey, like when you're a kid, you want to pick that up and touch it, and what do animals do? They're around. They put their paws. They touch things. They lick things. They're like, what do kids do? We grow up, and then all of a sudden, we put shoes on. We don't touch anything because that's messy and dirty, and don't hug nobody because that's weird and a little too close there. Yeah. That's funny, huh? It could be too. There could be a super drug too. I mean, I'm all for kids having jobs. You know, when in a sense like this, like you give them a responsibility, and by giving them responsibility, it gives them something to do, keeps their mind active, and gives them a sense of worth, of accomplishment, of value. Before the schooling system came through, the Prussian schooling system that got brought to the Americas, um, kids were on farms, and the whole wars that were going on. If you really want to understand the wars that were going on were about farmers, against the state trying to take the kids into the schoolrooms to you know inform them propaganda, blah blah blah. you know, and they didn't. They're like, well, we need to get out. This is my child on the land. I need to farm. And there's that whole story I've told a million times about what prohibition was, the timing of prohibition, and it was nothing to do with people consuming alcohol. It was about farm equipment, and the whole connection to when children were first going to school, when women were put in the workforce. These are all for much different reasons than we're told. But kids should have some sort of job and responsibility at a younger age. I'm not saying 10 hours a day of mind-numbing things. I mean, school is way worse. Way worse. Sit at a desk, do nothing, don't even. Kids should be out playing, and then give them a little bit of responsibility. Here's a half hour of responsibility. Go play. Okay, another half hour responsibility. Hey, how about this? Let's work and build something. Still be fun. There's plenty of things. Building is fun, but it's been removed. It's been removed from designing, building, and working together has been removed. Competition. Competition fuels innovation. No, it doesn't. Cooperation does. No wonder, shame and guilt yeah, that's gonna make a lot of anger issues. Yeah, I luckily never had the Catholic guilt thing. No, I don't. I did have a little bit of religion stuff in my life that was a little later. Mm. I mean, I did go to like the after school, thingy, and there was occasionally like Easter, Christmas that we would go, but it wasn't like Sunday thing. Nobody in my family was very, very religious, but there was definitely shame and guilt, without question. Uh, yeah, when you talk to somebody about anything deeper because they're so superficial, That if you talk about something deeper at a deeper level, they go like, no, this is just the way it is. This is just look around. This is just the way I am. Look at it's here. Look at this is I have to drive. We're going to work. I don't want to because you can't. But what they don't get is you can't develop any deeper relationships. You can't develop further as a human being. You can't have better understanding of the world if you don't understand earlier life traumas, relationships, things like this. Like you got to at least for yourself kind of consider and explore those things. Types of relationships you've had with animals, with people, with all sorts of churches, teens, whatever it might be. That like just kind of think about how did these things develop and come to make you the way you are today. Nobody wants to do that. They got time for it because then they would come like, oh, I was a dirty little kid. I was a dork. They don't want to relive that. I mean, if I wasn't as nerdy as I was and considered it, I would probably be still that dorky nerdy today. But because I go, well, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I decided to consider how I am and then alter things. It's called like dying daily. You have to kill aspects of yourself that you don't like. You go, oh, thank you for being there. And I'm going to put that on the shelf. And if I need that aspect of myself, I'll use it later. But for now, but people can't develop that if they don't go, well, how did we get here? Do I think the whole thing is a simulation? I don't think it all is because I know too many people that are just. I mean, they have their programs about just the way they go about their daily business and whatever, but there's too many people that I communicate with like us that we're around that doesn't completely work into the proper operating system per se. But there is some sort of overlay. I don't know that it's a simulation. A simulation inside of a simulation could be. I think we're on top of a computer board, but I don't think we're inside some sort of computer thing like the Matrix. Ish. But I don't think it's all pre-programmed. I think there are some things, some larger clockwork things, but. Mr. Jack, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I was talking to somebody earlier today, funny enough, and it was about a relationship they were having. They had, but it's still part of their life because the person has kids, whatever. And it was like some things don't need to be resolved. They just you need to just go, okay, that's done with. Like I can't. There's certain things in my life that I'll never be able to resolve. My grandfather's dead, right? So I can't resolve anything with him. Although I can just accept and go, okay, it's an understanding. Going, well, we move on. You just go, we good. It's more of an acceptance than a resolution. Sometimes some things can be resolved. Like some people they resolve something and then they have a better, stronger relationship afterwards. Other times it's more of just go. Water on the bridge, say la vie. And everybody's more comfortable for it. Yeah, it depends. I think sometimes people want to resolve things too much, and they get stuck into that. And there's some people, I don't know who said it, but there are people in your life that the people that owe you the biggest apology, you'll never get it from them. And there's people that you owe an apology to, and they'll never get it from you for a million different reasons. But that's just you'll apologize for someone else in a different way. It's like pay it forward, right? You'll make it up somehow. There'll be some other, I don't know. You screwed up over here, but then you helped somebody, push their car off, whatever. I don't know, but it's like somebody wronged you very bad, and if you hold on to that, you're not going to notice that you just got a gift somewhere else. You just have to let that go. I think that's a big thing for people. Because it's like it's carrying around baggage. It's like once why carry it with you? It's just a weight that's a burden that you don't need. It's like if you've been injured once, why rehash it and continue on carrying around somebody else's baggage? Why are you always smiling? Oh yeah, I remember one of the my favorite things was my dad always saying, "Oh, you think everything's a joke, don't you?" I was like, I can either I can either think it's a joke or be an angry fucking cunt like you. You know, like where everything's serious and not a joke and not fun. I was like, I think I'll go with it's funny. It's an easier way to be. They're like this one. Why? I don't know. What's up, Afro Man? I like it. Full potential is above evolving progression, accelerated evolution. Yep, there's the ones. What's so funny? Why are you so happy? Why are you smiling? Yeah, to remembrance. Remember the word mem is water. To be water. To remember is to be water again. You like water, Lucy said. Hello, Divine. So what are you doing? Chilling down here. A little bit of sun right here. Is that the sun? Oh no, I thought that was somebody's. I thought that was the sun going down. Nope, it's not. The sun is behind the house. Actually, it's like right over there. I think is that where it goes down? No, it goes over there. Ah, do I think real physical reality is programmable? Yes, and I know that for sure because I've done it. I've done it in many different ways. It takes that if you have to have faith, like that you could move mountains and you could. You can't doubt it, and then you also have to have focus. Yeah, let's go. Uh oh, bike gang, gang. Oh yes, that is like everybody. Oh shit. Let's see, that's like 50, 60, 60, 65, 65 kids. Nope, more. 70. Oh shit. Hold up. About 70, 75 kids on their bikes. Gang. For real. Oh, where was I? Yeah, and you have to have like 100% faith that whatever you want gonna happen is gonna happen. That's one part of the magic. And then you have to have that focus. Like that intention, that focus, that you can alter things. I've altered some things that people have seen me do, and they just go like I've told I'm not gonna tell the story now because I don't feel like telling it, but it's I've fucked with the weather pretty heavily and very specifically, and a couple people saw it happen and were like, what the fuck. But because I was just, you ever have those moments where you're just like very, you're calm, but you're powerful. You just feel powerful. It's like that. It's very programmable. But you got to know you have to invest into doing it. You have to be in there. What's up, Rory? Oh, you got some. Hey, that's right, Roy. When was that? That was a little while back. Yeah. Well, cheers if you got some. Good, right? A port wine is where it's at. Well, hello, Jimin. I love you too. Angel222, is there anything bad about sleeping late and waking up late? No. No, why would there be? Sleep, what, what do all the monks say? When you're tired, sleep. When you're hungry, eat. So that's about the size of life. And some people are more apt to be night people. They're more nocturnal. Some people have different switches. Like I'm very Geministic, so sometimes I like to go to sleep early and get up early. Other times I like to be up till 5 in the morning and then sleep until later. Yeah, I don't know. There are certain rhythms, but then again, the world is in a very weird place right now energetically. Everywhere you look, every weird shit's going on. There's all sorts of different energies happening in the world. So, sure, I mean, caffeine ain't the only thing that goes into sleeping patterns. There's all sorts of stressors. There's, just mental ones. Then you have, emotional things, relationships. You have perhaps finances that it might keep you up thinking about this. You might maybe, I don't know, on your phone, do you use red light? I would highly suggest getting, if you don't have it for your phone, get one of the red light filters. That will help you get to sleep. Sometimes just being around electronics too much might keep you up. But nah. Like my sleeping patterns for the past couple years have been all over the place. Very, very erratic. There's not much I can do about it. I just kind of accept it. your body doesn't adapt to the 9 to yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody's body was ever supposed to. It really depends on where you live too. Whenever I've lived in the country, whenever I've lived in like a forest away from any sort of power, like there's in the cabin there's electricity, but like in a major way there's not electricity. I go to bed much earlier and I sleep much sounder, but I get up way early. It depends on kind of what you're around. Like where I live, a couple years ago, from like starting maybe 10 years ago till 2 years ago, my sleeping patterns were like basically I'd be up late every night because New Orleans is open till whenever, but usually probably like 5 or 6 a.m. So like the night ain't starting until damn near midnight. So my sleeping pattern was way different. That was the way a lot of people down here slept, especially working in the service industry. It really depends. It just depends energetically where you're at. A lot of things are going to it. Hoot hoot. Yeah, hoot hoot divine. Oh, okay. You're saying how would you explain mushrooms as if it's like out in front of you or if you're projecting it? Interesting. I think both. I think both can happen because there is I mean, obviously everything's coming internally, but I can certainly say this is here. It's not from inside of me, and this is here. I mean, it exists because I bought the phone and we go through all that, and I'm kind of putting it there, right? But we can kind of there's an objective reality, and some of those things do seem to form out of the ether that you can interact with. I think it depends on the dosage. I think that's a major thing. Most of them are inner projecting light images. You're kind of you take in light and you also spit light out of your eyes. So most of it is spitting it out of your eyes, but I think that things can take form out of the plasmic ether. Yeah. Haha, Rory, that's hilarious. So Rory, so you like the port? Yeah, good stuff. You saw triangles. I've never seen anything weird in the sky. Most of them were in forests. Whenever I've done forests and I've looked into fires, or maybe walking around the city, but and then that's a whole different thing too. Oh, oh. Well, then that's that. Then at that point, I think if it's a heroic dose, see, that's kind of like when Terrence McKenna was talking about him and his brother were talking basically about this kind of concept about being able to form the what the hell book was it? The something experiments. If you're into Terrence McKenna, him and his brother wrote a book on it. The something experiments, I believe, and it was they were trying to build something with their mind like the shamans used to do, and I think it's possible. I, I'm I'm almost certain it's possible because I've heard too many things and understand too much about intoning and how creation of letters and using cymatics and things and making shape out of that. So I'm certain it can be done. I mean, but to maintain your mind while you're in that space, to make something and then have it come back and hold space in this reality. Like if you go on that mushroom trip, right, and you create something and you could hold it there energetically till you come back to this space of normality, and then it's still sitting there. That's what they were talking about doing, basically. That would be a really, really difficult task because you'd have to somehow have your mind about you the entire time, which is ain't that the trick. I think I take my sunglasses off now. Oh yeah, Mr. Jackson. Ask Jimin. He's very keen on the substances. Yeah, I'm assuming Jimin those weren't dried though, right? Those had to be fresh. 10 grams of dried would have been. Oh, you okay? So Roy, you had the white port. Yeah, they have some other ones called ice wine. I think I told you about, but those are super sweet. So you like the white port? Uh huh. Yeah, I can do either. You're making me want some right now, but I think the store's closed. I'll do it tomorrow. It's Friday tomorrow, so. Oh, I'll let everybody know. As per usual, you're allowed to give me a thumbs up, and you are allowed to donate to me because I have been pretty broke since this hurricane thing. It's been a fucking struggle. Cash App, PayPal, all that. And if you donate to me, you can tell me to buy a bottle or whatever tomorrow, and I will, the people around here that if they need a drink or a snack, I will buy them something. So feel free. Um, yeah, there's that. Yeah, what kind? Because there's the port. Man, it's been a while since I had the white port. Because they usually buy the cheaper bottles, and usually the cheaper bottles are like the ruby red stuff, and the dark purple. Backwards lucid dreaming. Ah, Jim, and you have yeah. I also forget that you're like 350 pounds and 7'8". Yeah, Mr. Jackson, you got to realize Jimin is not a normal sized human. He's twice the size of a normal human. So 12 grams is about 6 grams to him. Yeah, Jimmy don't play around. Jimmy, you funny, yo. Yeah, you have a lot of. Have you ever written down some of your stories, man? Because you've done a quite a masterful amount of substances, and you've been to a lot of different festivals and things. Yeah, Jimin is some sort of He-Man. He's not from this realm. He's a Viking He-Man. Ah, yeah. See, I much prefer to be. I much prefer the woods too. I don't mind like running around New Orleans. I don't mind small amounts. That's fun. But I normally don't like to be in cityscapes. There's just there's too much electric energy, and I'd much rather be barefooted. That's awesome, Jimin. Yeah, Jimin's on another level with this shit, man. Have you ever taken people on journeys, Jimin? Have you ever thought about being a guide? I mean, I've guided people, not in any like major like, hey, come to my, I'm gonna put this on and take you on it. But there's some substances I've been a tour guide for. I've told you, the funniest one is when everybody I don't know how many years ago is it now? Salvia Divonium, the diviner sage, when that came out because it was legal, and then people were doing it and just going, nope, never touching that again, because they didn't know what they were getting into. They just thought it was something fun. They just thought it was like legal weed. Nope, not like that. That is not to be played with. You can just go smoke some weed and have a little laughy fun time. But no, diviner sage is that's some other stuff. So I used to take people on little trips of that. Yeah, yeah, Rory, I hear you. Last bottle was, so 40 is like your limit. Yeah, for me, I'd much rather drink cheap and yeah, before, when I had money, even when I had money, I actually preferred to drink cheap. I was never like, give me the fancy cocktail and the fancy bottle. I never really, other than a few things like vodka, the 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 cleaner, the better vodka is a better buzz. Yeah, I've done the telepathy thing. Actually, most of the time I've done telepathy is when I've done water fasts and lemonade fasts. Water fast, but see the thing is, whenever I'm doing it, the other person might not. They might not. I'll be like, hey, I can. I'm kind of. They're like, how did you know that I was? I was like, I can do that right now. It becomes very, you can hear and see and taste different. Jimin, what do you mean port wine only costs $5 to $10 for a bottle where you're at? What are you talking about, Jimin? If it only costs $5 to $10 a bottle, send me a bottle, Jesus. Because here the cheap stuff, I can get a bottle for $9. That's the cheap shit. But normally bottles are around $20. A $20 bottle is a standard, decent bottle. I don't know if you know, like Juarez or Sandman or something like that. Right around $20. But the cheap shit, that I usually get and I'll mix with boxed white wine. That's my favorite thing to do. Really, get a box of Franzia white wine, because now you get a 5 liter. That's crazy for $20, and then you get a bottle of port. So when you mix them together, you get a little bit of that sweetness from the port. So it takes away how shitty the boxed Franzia is, and as cheap as anything. And you got enough, and you upgrade the alcohol percentage from like 12 to about 15. Good. That's the way to go. That's one of my favorite drunks right there. A liter for $5? Damn it. How do I put this? What is a coat? Here's the $1 million question. What is a coat? The High Life. I was drinking High Life yesterday, drinking the PBRs today. That's all. See, so I can kind of hear that sometimes. Like before I get a phone call, I'll kind of catch it. You know, that's whenever I've done some certain substances. I charged a phone in my hand one time. That was on something else though. And it wasn't just a little bit. It was like the person's phone was dead, and I charged it to like 70%. That was crazy. I was like, wow, that just happened. Hey, well, check it out, everybody. It's getting dark here, and my charger is just about dead. So I'm going to kick it back to the house. It's been good seeing everybody. I might come back on here a little later if you guys are around. But it's been good to see everybody, good chatting. And as per usual, you do know how to donate if you want to. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, it's beneath in the description box. And always take care of yourself, you know, and if you can, take care of others. And most importantly, be yourself, because everyone else is taken. I'm going to get the F out of here, but Mr. Jackson, Rory, Jim, and everybody else. Yes. But I'm gonna dip out of here because my phone is almost dead anyway. So stay well, everybody. We'll chat soon. Be cool, fools. Toodles.